Selling digital products on Etsy is one of the most beginner-friendly ways to make passive income online. But sadly, with that comes incredibly high competition levels. So what would you do if you had access to information that could quite literally put you ahead of 95% of that competition? You'd probably start to see sales figures like these, right? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 of the best tips for selling digital products on Etsy. What's up guys, it's Alfie here, and you know that there's some great Etsy tips on the way. So let's get straight into them, and starting off with number 1, this is to get ahead of all of the competition with correct pricing. So look, this should be done for any niche as standard, but for digital products, it's of utmost importance that your items are priced correctly. And now for this one, I'm actually gonna go against a lot of the previous pricing advice that I'd give for physical items, because for digital items, I actually want you to price them lower than what you think they're worth. And now I know you're gonna say, but Alfie, why the hell would I price my digital products for less than what they're worth? Well, this is because at the start, I want you to focus on one thing, and this is going to be sales, okay? Put profits to the side, just focus on sales, and particularly sales velocity. So the number one mistake that I see beginner digital item sellers making on Etsy is that they're just pricing their products way too high. And this is just not the best strategy to go for, in my opinion. If you've got less sales and less reviews selling digital products than all of your competitors, you're always going to find that customers are going to be choosing the competitors' products over yours. So this is why at the start you have to beat them on price, in my opinion, just to start getting that sales velocity rolling in. And then of course, once you get your reviews, once you get a good sales history behind you, then I want you to start focusing on increasing your product prices in slow increments. And I mean, it's not like your digital products are costing you a lot to produce, or you've got to pay big postage bills to send them to customers. Literally 95% of your digital products is just profit to you anyway. So I've said this in videos before, sales velocity, or the rate at which you're making sales, is a major factor that Etsy determine for search ranking. And because digital items are just so oversaturated on Etsy, without this sales volume at the start, your chances of long-term success selling these products are going to be just so slim. But yeah, moving on to the second tip now, and this is to utilize the buy multiple, get discount offers. So I hold my hands up. This one I've stolen from some of the most successful digital item sellers on Etsy. And this is to utilize offers to your advantage. So I mean, this could be anything like buy 2 items, get 1 free, or buy 3 items, get 50% off the entire order. You know, whatever the offer may be, I want you to use it to your advantage to increase the average order value that customers are spending with you. And then on this, I really want you to get into the habit of focusing on sales over profit. So yes, of course, offering something as high as a 50% discount is going to lead to less profit for yourself in the short term. But like I said in my previous point, it will drive sales. And for the digital items, you need these sales because it's just such a competitive niche. So I want to show you a few examples of exactly what I mean here. Firstly, this is why sales history and review scoring is so important. So you can take 2 digital products that are literally identical in function, but I guarantee the item with more reviews and sale history is 95% of the time going to be purchased over the other item. And as an added bonus, offering these discounts are just going to make your products pop and really stand out more on the Etsy homepage. So moving on to the third tip now, and this is to really consider that people are not actually that tech savvy. So look, the reality is that some people on Etsy are literally shopping and buying digital products for the very first time. So I highly recommend to make your product descriptions and download instructions as easy to interpret and read as possible, and list it from the eyes of somebody that hasn't bought a digital item before. So I really want you to get into the habit of giving the consumer as much information as possible to make them feel comfortable buying the product from you in the first place. And this is something that you'll see all of the top digital item sellers doing incredibly well. They make their products easy to understand, and they make their products appeal to all audiences, no matter what their level of tech knowledge is. And then on the contrary, I see plenty of beginner digital item sellers on Etsy just completely ignoring this. And I know for a fact it's a reason why they're missing out on sales. And if you don't have this information, it's definitely a reason why you're also missing out on sales. So I'm going to use my mum as an example for this, and I love my mum so dearly, but I showed her a few different digital items for sale on Etsy the other day, and I just asked her, Mum, do you know how it works to download and buy a digital item from Etsy? And she literally said to me, Alfie, I wouldn't even know where to start. And honestly, I really think my mum is a great example of what plenty of shoppers on the Etsy platform are actually like. So practically on your listings, I think as a bare minimum, you need to be including either a video or a written tutorial on exactly how to purchase and download your digital items. Also a breakdown of exactly what you get in a digital item bundle, and also what devices the digital item is available to be downloaded on or compatible with. But just in general, I always recommend to get yourself thinking from a buyer's point of view and just make sure to include all of the information that you think they would want to know. So moving on to my fourth tip now, and this is to choose a niche that will actually give you a fighting chance of making sales. So look, this one might be a complete no-brainer, but especially if you're a relatively new seller of digital items on Etsy, I want you to only focus on selling products with high search volumes and low competition. And don't start laughing because of how obvious that is, because you'll honestly be shocked at the pure amount of Etsy sellers I see just completely neglecting this. So because you're watching my Etsy videos, I want to show you exactly how you can find these high search volume, low competition digital items. So now I'm not sponsored by this company or anything. My YouTube channel is way too small for that, but I can't recommend this site enough, and it's to use eRank. So here you can search for keywords within your niche and find the search volumes, but most importantly, the competition levels for each of those keywords. So for example, I see a lot of digital item shops selling art, and they whack up just the most generic, general art there is, because I mean, to be honest, it does look very nice and pretty, but this is not the best way to get results. Instead, I recommend to use eRank and carry out searches for art, for example, and then sift through the results until you see a style of art that has high searches and low competition. Then, once you find a sub niche within your digital item art niche that you know has high searches and low competition, I would just make 10, 20, 30 listings of this one particular sub niche, and then just watch those sweet, sweet sales come rolling in. And because I love all of you, I've actually done a lot of this research myself, and I've put together a video that includes 7 high search volume, low competition items that you can sell on Etsy starting from today. And if you want to check those 7 ideas out, I'll leave a link to the video in the top right hand corner. So yeah, feel free to check it out if you wish. Okay, so moving on to the next tip now, and this is literally so important, and it's to focus on your thumbnail images. So I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. If you don't have good thumbnail images, then every other tip that you consider past that point is just totally redundant. It's literally as simple as that. So I'm going to show you some examples of some best-selling digital products here, and I want you to take a look at the thumbnail images, and in particular, try and notice some patterns of what the best thumbnail images do well. So starting off with digital planners. So there's a few things I've noticed straight away, and one of them is the simplicity of the design. They're all really clean and easy to view, with the main product allowed to really stand out and catch your eye. Also, you can see that there is a clear contrast between the background and the product itself. This is just something I think looks really great against a busy selection of digital planners on the Etsy homepage that you're actually going to be competing against. And then when it comes to digital art, you see that all of these bestsellers have just amazing top-notch mock-up images with the picture itself clear, and there's a really clever use of white space all around the image to help make it stand out. And of course, if you do choose to sell digital art on Etsy, make sure that you use a simple mock-up program such as Canva to create the highest quality mock-up images that you can, because again, in my opinion, these mock-up images that you're going to be using as your thumbnails and your product images are going to be of utmost importance to getting conversions on your listings. But look, in general, just until you've made plenty of sales with your digital products and you've got a much more established store with that sales history and specifically the review history as well, then I really want you to just pay attention and focus on sales velocity over the amount of profit you're making per order. So yeah, look, this is just a really quick one, and I really hope that those 5 tips came in really useful to you. Feel free to subscribe if you think I talk sense and you want to see more tips coming in the future. And if you want to watch a video of me literally making and talking you through exactly how to make best-selling digital products, then you'll see a video linked at the end of this, and I recommend that you just go check it out if you want. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.